Hello, everyone. I am Iya. I am a UST SHS alumni. I just graduated last year as well as an atelier alumni. I am currently studying in De La Salle College of St. Benilde, taking multimedia arts. And the reason why I do art is I actually just found my purpose. Nung pandemic ko pa siya nahanap. And it is being a voice for the people. And I think a lot of artists say that as well. The reason why I do art is to be a voice for the people and for women.
So, hello, I'm Hara. I make art. Same with Alyssa. I make art kasi nung pandemic baby ako actually. Una, gumagawa ako ng art for myself, but then parang nung gumawa ako ng art na yon, people are messaging me and actually thanking me for creating those pieces kasi parang it meant a lot to them. Parang doon, na-realize ko na my skill, I have a purpose, ganyan. I can be an instrument as well hanggang sa parang I decided to focus on improving my skills, ganito, ganyan. And then, I'm an illustrator now, I'm a digital artist, ganun. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Seline. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a graduate of Benil Multimedia Arts and graduated recently. Right now, I'm a digital artist. I do freelance. I do illustrations, mainly digital art. And the reason why I do art, at first, it's because it made me happy. I think we can all relate to that. For others can also relate to my art, and it can also make them happy to a certain extent. Kaya, ayun, it gave me inspiration, and it I guess it inspired me also seeing this community online and how we all support one another.
Hi, I'm Lou. My pronouns are she, they. I graduated from De La Salle College of St. Benilde in animation, and currently I am a part-time teacher in a local university here. But I've also been, I'm still, I guess, a freelancer since I was in college. And I do art because, I can. It was a coping mechanism. Eventually, of course, it crossed over to as a profession. Recently, I just discovered that I guess I'm more of a storyteller. Like that's like my purpose now in doing art. To tell stories, whatever they may be. And I never set out to be a teacher, but I also find that, using my art to educate people, that.
I think in the parang socio-political kalagayan ng Philippines, I think it's common knowledge to us na we are an oppressed group. Grabe hanggang ngayon pa rin, super bigat pa rin ng stereotyping of women in the Philippines. In this situation, it's important to celebrate Women's Month. Also from a women's perspective, kasi tayo talaga yung naka-experience ng mga, yung pagsasabi na dapat ganito ka magsalita at ganito ka manamit. And through our art, we're giving them different perspectives of what women can do, what women look like, what women should wear, how women should act, and should not be afraid to be outspoken. Pero I believe na it's not a failure. Just because na hindi nawawala yung mga oppressors doesn't mean that it's a failure. Instead, we have to see it as a success kasi there are still people like us na pinapahalagahan yung month na to. And we just have to view it as something that leads us to empowering fellow women and, the general public and hearing us as well as Filipinas in whatever industry that we are in, not only in the art industry, but everywhere.
I think kung titignan yung kalagayan natin ngayon, di ba nanggaling tayo sa election? Yung merong isang woman candidate for presidency na oppressed, ganito, ganyan. Kasi they're judging everything kasi it's a woman, natalo kasi it's a woman, blah, blah. I think it's all about women now na prioritizing what they really want. Women can be who they want. Sana mas ma-emphasize din na hindi tayo para sa isang role lang. Kahit sabihin na rin natin na nagkakaroon tayo ng karapatan and voices ngayon as women, hindi pa rin nawawala yung mga mga maliliit na oppression, and it's very, very visible, and kailangan labanan, syempre, as women. We're born to fight, we're born to use our voices and such.
We should celebrate Women's Month because there's still like that stigma that if a man does something, it's like accepted, but if a woman does the exact same thing, she's like judged for it. So I think we should be celebrating Women's Month, especially now in our country. It's important because women still face a lot of struggles like abuse and discrimination. And even though the social climate is much different than like decades ago, 100 years ago, women still fight for equality and like gender equality. Women are capable of so many things, and they are strong individuals. They are creative individuals. The women in our country have achieved so much to like move our country forward. So I think that's why we should keep celebrating women every March for Women's Month.
Maybe provide a different perspective, because as a non-binary woman, I guess it's important also to celebrate it in terms of, we have to topple patriarchy, guys, because we all suffer under it. It's not just us women, but also, the men. It's also the same system. It's also the same, philosophy that hurts them, because you can see that they can't be vulnerable. The men, real men don't cry, all that. They are also forced to be a certain mold. And because of that, because they are forced into that mold, in turn, they, of course, oppress us, because it's a cycle. Champion, of course, feminism, but also, we really have to stop. You need to stop the patriarchy, guys.
Ako, when I draw women, ang pinapahalagan ko ay yung mga different social classes of women. Hindi lang yung, petty bourgeoisie. Ay, spell bourgeoisie. I mean, growing up, I think ang mga una ko talagang cartoon, well, my art style is very, pang bata and very cartoon yung niya, approach. Nakakita ko sa kanila, yung mga suot nila, it's very bourgeois. Kasi they come from like high-class families or like yung mga nasa suburbs. And ayun, hindi siya Philippines. I'm very interested in drawing and representing women na yung mga nakikita lang natin everyday, naglalako, magbebenta ng pandesal. Ako, I live in the province, so ang dami talaga paglabas mo dyan, nagbebenta ng saging, mga isda, ganon. Tsaka masaya din silang i-drawing, pati pag-practicean. Much fun na obserbahan yung masa. I mean, effects din siguro ng online classes. Masakit sa mata kapag sa screen lang lagi nakatingin. So, pahinga naman tayo, and one way is going outside, looking at the people. Important sa akin na ma-shine ng light yung mga masang Pilipina, pati yung mga manggagawang Pinay. Kasi, ayun nga, I personally rarely see them being posted about. Ayun, it's important for me to represent them kasi they are who surround me in my daily life. So, ayun, just trying to let the digital world see my world through my art.
Okay, so how is it important? To make it short, kasi sino-sino na lang ba yung magtutulungan, di ba? Tayo, di ba? And sino lang ba yung mag-educate sa isa't isa? Tayo rin, di ba? So parang, yeah, we should use our art in joining pag-aaklas and such. Kasi, actually nakakatulong yung pagiging artist. Kung gagamitin mo yung boses mo, gagamitin mo yung yung skills mo. Kasi, pag nakita ng iba yan, magkakaroon na rin yan ng impact. Hanggang sa magkaroon siya ng impact sa iba't iba. So like, if we use our voices together, mas lalakas yung boses natin. If we create artworks, mas talaki yung magagawa nating artworks.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that art has like the ability to create a community and to inspire others to like join causes and create change. And then for me personally, I do it like in the most simplest of forms, where I try to draw Filipino women with more Filipino or facial features, just like as simple as that. Because I noticed like in mainstream media or like a few shows where like the Filipinos are like all light skinned and they don't look like your regular Filipinos. Of course, there are light skinned Filipinos, but what about the representation for like other skin colors? Like not everyone is like from Manila. There are other like what about the Filipinos from like the other parts of the country? Um, so yeah, I try to draw or create art with like the face of like who I see, like the local Filipinos that I see, and I try to incorporate that in my art.
The queer side of the story. Yeah, it was frustrating, of course. Women in media have, a particular portrayal, and not only them, kulang din sa queer representation ang media. We're making headway, but yeah, it's such a turbulent, time for not only women, but, women and the LGBTQ community we're just working hand in hand, so to speak. Yeah, which is why it's also, important to represent, of course, like you said, all walks of life. And that's, of course, the purpose is to normalize it. That if people keep seeing it in media, soon it won't be considered strange anymore, right? Sa akin, just as we've mentioned before, art as a career is already a very difficult, profession to maintain, to pursue. So for me lang I really feel like it's a different discussion yung ganun. But for me, as a rule of thumb lang, important life decisions that you make, like your career, should be decided by yourself and for yourself. Rather than letting, others dictate it, na kasi sabi ng mom ko ganito, like you decided it for yourself, but it's still, it's still impacted by, sabi kasi ng mama ko ganito, sabi ng dad ko ganito, sabi kasi ng tito ko walang pera dyan, parang ganun, it's still your decision, but you still let it impact you. So if you have to decide yourself and for yourself. Rather than, of course, let it be dictated and you later regret it in life. But I want to acknowledge, though, that this is a privileged stance because not everyone has that choice.
Miss Lu, thank you po sa advice. The joke lang. Hindi, actually, same. Just go for it. Like, unti lang ang buhay. Pero alam kong sobrang hirap ipaglaban yung arts talaga dito sa Philippines. Pero, yeah, ituloy lang. Just go for it. That's it. Just go for it. And one day naman, naniniwala ako na magkakaroon din ng kaunti-unti na parang lalabak yung community natin kung saan mas ma-appreciate na rin kahit ng iba't ibang generations yung arts. Darating din tayo sa point na yan as long as, gamitin natin yung skills natin, i-hone natin yung skills natin, i-normalize ang mga dapat na i-normalize. Let's use our voices until na ma-accept tayo, until na, we're women, we're Filipino, and it's a pride for the country, ganun.
I believe na from what I've learned, hindi malayo, as in dikit lang yung struggle natin, women, with the LGBTQIA+ community. Kasi we are very close in relations to kung ano yung mga sinasabi, like the way na kung paano tayo ibatikos ng society. As women, as gays, meron tayong, stereotype din naman paminsan kapag bakla, kapag bading, very sila, like creative. And I think that comes from oppression din, from the struggle na yun nga, hindi sila masyado binibigyan kahalagahan pati nila-respeto. So the way to challenge the status quo is to just be their own unique selves, and hindi nila dapat ikahiya yun. Mahirap talagang maging babae at maging bading, lalo na sa Pilipinas. At lalo na din na isama mo pa na artist. So, isa pang struggle yun. Pick a struggle. Tapos, ayun, wag lang magba-back down from your personality and the way it influences your art. Yun yung parang magte-test sa society na parang, uy, may ganito palang gimmick na may ganito palang pakulo ang mga babae at mga bading sa society natin. Kasi, being loud about ourselves is one way to parang show na hindi tayo nagba-back down sa laban na to. So, ayun. Yes. For the girls and the gays. Dikit lang po ang laban natin. So, let's just keep supporting each other. And I think that's a common message of this whole podcast, this whole episode. Parang, dikit lang ang laban natin. Huwag natin pakawalan ng isa't isa. Doesn't mean na we identify as different things na kailangan nating mag-divide. No, parang, ayun, when we struggle together. When we want to win, we win together, we fight together. And, ayun.
Okay, so, nawala ako sa question. Okay, so, sorry, may yung dog ko. Pero siguro as, nasabi na ni Alice yung iba, so siguro as an artist or as aspiring artist, let's educate ourselves more. Pag-aralan natin yung kultura natin, pag-aralan natin yung mga social issues natin. Kasi for example, gumawa ka ng kung ano yung kumbaga ano yung pinaka-issue that time, tapos makita ng ibang tao yung artwork mo, magkakaroon yun ng impact sa kanila. And kahit hindi sila interested sa artworks mo, magkakaroon sila ng knowledge about it. So ayun, let's study as an artist, let's study our culture hanggang sa mai-incorporate na natin yung kultura natin sa art natin. Pero parang hindi ko pinipilit na gumawa ka ng literal about the culture. Like, make an art that makes you happy, pero ayun, kasi kapag gumawa ka naman ng art, it represents you rin. Tapos ayun, let's move, let's make art more, let's connect and support other artists kasi walang naglalaban-laban dapat dito, that we support each other, we educate each other, and let's empower each other.
Diba yung status quo is like the norm? It's like, this isn't High School Musical 1. You don't stick to the status quo. So I guess to challenge that, we just have to, it helps to go out of your comfort zone, I find. Because if you do that, then it creates an impact. It starts a conversation. But I guess try to find a balance with like creating art that makes you happy and also that is like out of your comfort zone. Because then you can really discover like your full potential.
In my way right now, I'm not really a grand gesture kind of person. So anything that, any endeavor that I would like to do in that vein is, of course, it's really subtle. So for now, I just, of course, stick to, educating my students. I really make sure that the boys respect women, but not, of course, like in a preachy way, like, in conversations with them. Like, it just starts there, from individuals until it's something, that expands. So yun lang, it's just educating, and if possible, advocacies, be more, especially with the masses, because it's a concept, of course, that needs to also go out, not just from our bubble as Of course, we are educated women. It's unfortunate that kind of concept is just trapped, within our bubble, I guess. That yung mga masa, dapat alam talaga nila na, you have rights. Di kayo dapat ginaganyan. They need to understand din na, what, don't be complacent. Don't allow that just because, you're a woman, so you have to, dapat magtimpi ka, and all that, like, yeah, education. That is our key talaga, guys.
It's very iconic Tagalog word. Nakakapagpabagabag. Oops, one try lang yon. Wow! Filipino card not revoked. I mean, pero, yung ginugol ko right now, ang meaning niya daw in English is worrisome. Tapos, pero my interpretation of it is something na parang disturbing or parang nakaka-disturb siya ng quiet. I want my art to be able to do that. Comfortable and maging uncomfortable. Kaya, humanda na kayo. Charot! Pero, the meaning behind it, why I chose the word is because I want my art to be able to impact people. So yun, I want to be nakakapagpabagabag to everyone. Ayun, I want to be someone that could impact people, especially aspiring parang ako, and I'm just very much in the starting line pa. I'm very enlightened with what everyone said today, so I will continue to be nakakapagpabagabag every day.
Pero kasi dream big person talaga ako. So parang aside from calling myself as an artist, parang I believe that I am an instrument as well. Well, instrument of God, joke. No, kasi I have skills, diba? Like, I have a platform where I can showcase my artwork, and those artworks can help other people, motivate other people, be appreciated by other people, and it can actually help educate people. I believe I'm an instrument, and siguro kung may mga kids or may mga batang babaeng makakita ng, oh my God, she's an artist, she's a female artist, well, you can be too, baby girl. Ganon. Ayun lang.
I guess my word is persistent, because I think, like, I've noticed that no matter what, I try to like always be present, and like, for example, if there's like a role that I really want to get, and then in the description it says that like I lack one or two qualities, I still apply. I guess I'm an ambitious person, I guess. And then it also is reflected also in my art, how I just keep making art that inspires me, and I hope that aspiring artists can also learn to be more persistent, especially in a very challenging world.
Sige, let's have a little Ilonggo, lesson. Hiligay nun lesson, I think. So the word that I chose is hiligay nun word here. Because, basta Ilongga, guwapa, di ba? But, okay, I'm gonna sound, a little bit, I hope I don't sound pretentious. But what it means, matahong, is, of course, beautiful, but it's more closely, it more closely means, appealing, mesmerizing. It's been a struggle seeing, a proper, like, yung alam mo talaga na Filipino, syempre, our noses are not that tall, round faces, all that. So, with, ang media portrayal natin ngayon, of course, it's been hard, to love yourself, your nation. So, ganun, we should strive for, seeing that beauty and, I guess, spreading that beauty. Matahong kita. We are not just, of course, pleasing to the eye, but, there's also a bit of elegance. Matahong kita. It's such a, I'm sorry, it's just really a good word. It's such a good iligay non word. honestly, I can't fully explain it. I'm trying actually to explain it, but the words are escaping me. But yes, that is my point, guys. We are, a beautiful nation. So let's own it. That's it.
1, 2, 3, smile.